Hi, Eric Gimbal, ericgimbal.com, and today I'm going to tell you why there are no such thing as professional cameras. Let's start. First of all, hi to the guy who said he was not really happy with the background of my van. He thought it was not nice to be always in my van taking a video. So I put a special background, different background for him. I hope he likes it. So let's speak about this thing about professional cameras. Well, very often I hear people saying, "Oh, I need a professional camera," or I hear salespeople in shops telling, "This is a professional camera." Like someone say, "Oh, I'd love to have this one." "Oh, yes, but this is a professional camera." There are no such things as professional camera for several reasons. First, light is the same for everyone. You don't wake up in the morning and look at the sun and say, "Please, pro light for me, I'm a professional," or "Please, amateur light because I'm an amateur." Light is the same whether you are professional or amateur. It's the same thing. If you're on the street and street light, you don't tell the console, "Please change the lighting here because I need pro light." Oh, you can put on amateur light, no problem, I'm amateur. No, that's stupid. Second, the subjects. Whether they are people, animals, landscape, objects, whatever, they're the same. If in front of you have a person, whether it's a professional model, professional actor, whatever, doesn't make any difference. Maybe we'll have better makeup, but a landscape is the same thing whether it's you're professional or not. There's absolutely no difference. So why a camera should be different? So let's see. We must define what is a professional photographer and what is an amateur photographer. The difference is really simple. Very often people think, yeah, a pro makes better picture, an amateur makes worse picture, and that's not right. You have some pro that make great pictures, you have amateur that make great pictures, you have pro that make lousy pictures, and amateur that make lousy picture. The difference is the pro has a commercial commitment. He must deliver the best possible picture to his client. That's it, period. Nothing else. Because if he doesn't do it, he may have a commercial problem or maybe a legal problem. An amateur must deliver the best experience to himself, the best photography to himself. But this is a personal commitment, not a legal or commercial commitment. So what does that mean? That if an amateur fails a picture, that's maybe a drama for himself, but not a legal drama for anyone, or a commercial drama. If a professional fails with his picture, that may be a big problem. If he says to a couple, "Sorry, but I've got no wedding picture for you because my camera failed," that may be a commercial and legal problem, because don't forget that a judge may say, if you get sued by your client, the judge may say, "Okay, you cannot guarantee the result, but you must guarantee that you put everything in your gear to have the best possible result." It failed because the judge collapsed and you saved your life and everyone saved his life, but your gear was killed, so you have no photography. That's different. But if you say, "Well, my sensor failed and I had no other camera," you say, "Well, but it's your obligation to have enough gear to comply with your commitments. You need it." So this is where the difference comes. Instead of speaking about professional camera, we should speak about intensity of work and real needs. Let's say you're an amateur and every weekend you go and watch your kid playing football, and you make around 3,000 photography every weekend. So you make 4 Saturdays a month, that's 12,000 pictures a month. And if it's 10 months a year, because two months of the year you go on vacation and you don't have to go to the football field, And so it means you make around 120,000 pictures a year just for football. So this means that actually you have a use of your camera that is similar to a professional. It's really intense. So if you don't have, if you have a basic camera, it's likely that your shutter will be dead after 6 months. If you get a camera that is thought for professional, then probably you will keep this camera 2 or 3 years, and that will be okay. So in your case, you actually need a pro grade camera, which is camera for professional, or I would say for intense use. But if you're a professional that makes only portraits, and if triggering 20 times your camera, you actually get 1 to 5 portraits you actually want, and you have 1 client a day, this sits about 100 pictures a week. This is around 4,000 pictures a year, 4 to 5,000 pictures a year, depends how many you make. But that is really low use. So actually any camera body is fine for you. You don't need this specific, really intense use camera. So you will probably spend money on better lenses, better lighting, flash units, or whatever. Or backdrop if you're in a studio or whatever. You don't need a camera that supports intense use. So the thing is, they are just tools. So if they are just tools, you need the tool that corresponds to the use you're going to do with it. I remember I had a guy that came to one of my workshops for beginner, and he came with a Nikon D3. At that time, it was the top of the range camera by Nikon. I looked at him and said, "You're beginning? You experienced, no?" He said, No, I'm just a beginner." I said, "And you have a Nikon D3? "Oh, well, yes. I had a Nikon D90 and the picture was bad, so I bought a Nikon D300. This guy had money, obviously, and the picture was still bad, so I bought this Nikon D3 and the picture are still bad. So I'm thinking maybe who's doing something wrong is me, so I come to the workshop to learn how to use the camera. Obviously it was doing wrong. So if you have no clue about light, no clue about composition, no clue about anything about photography, you can get the best camera, you won't do anything. These cameras are just tools. They are basically tools. So they help you if you know how to use them. If you compare to music, if you take a Stradivarius violin, well, if you give that to a beginner, it will go and the sound will be as bad as 50 euros violin he bought at Christmas. So obviously that won't make any difference for him. So if you get an advanced amateur and a professional musician that use this Stradivarius violin, then they will get out of it the best sound you can ever imagine, because they will be prepared to get the right sound out of that. And cameras are the same way. So it's important to forget about the word professional. You must think about intensity of use. You must think about what actually do you want to do with this camera. Very often they contact me and they say, "I want a camera to do astrophotography. I found this compact camera that costs about 300 euros. Is it okay?" Wow, you've never made photography and you're speaking about one of the most complicated photography, because if you just want to make a picture of the moon, any camera is okay, because the moon light is about half the intensity of the sun, you know, maybe it depends on the size of the moon, but full moon is really quite a lot, you know. So any camera is fine, light wise, you know, zoom wise another story, but telelens or whatever, but the light is fine from the moon. But if you speak about stars, then that's another story. If you want to see all the stars, well, most camera can do it. If you want to do deep space, that's a very different story, because you need a camera that is able to capture the stars during a very short time, because the Earth is moving, it's turning. So obviously, if you take too long, you will see move stars. So you need a really specific gear for that. So if you're thinking of trying astrophotography just for fun once, don't spend your money on that. Just find a friend that has a camera and that can do that, and go with him, try, and that's it. If you're planning to do this, obviously you need a camera that is able to cope with the necessity of that kind of pictures. If you do burst photography because they're action and you need like 10 to 12 pictures per second, obviously a basic camera that does 3 images per second is not the one you need. You need a really more intense camera. So you really need a camera that can do a better burst. So obviously it depends on what you're going to do. So it's very important that you forget about the word professional. Think about the word, what do I need? Actually, there are camera brands that put on their website camera for amateur, and then they have enthusiast amateur, then they have professional, but they always say for camera for amateur, camera for enthusiast amateur, camera for advanced amateur, camera for professional, and the most important word is for. It's not amateur and camera, it's camera for amateur, camera for professional, because what's professional or not is not the camera, it's the person behind the camera. It's actually the way you're going to use it. If you are doing critical photography that you cannot repeat, like a wedding, having dual memory card is a plus. If there are some situation you may not be able to put some extra light, being able to have high ISO is a plus. If it's a situation where you cannot put like a tripod, maybe you need a really good image stabilization and things like this. But really it depends on the situation. The word professional is nonsense. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching it. If you want, you can share it on social network. There's a small button down here so you can share it. If you have not done yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's also a small button and a small bell. If you click on it, you get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgimbal.com. If you have any question, you can leave a comment or send an email to info@ericgimbal.com. I also put in description links of my gear on Amazon and links to other parts of my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Bye.